Alright, hi everybody. This is going to be a hopefully quickly install video on how to put a Benelli M4 hammer, or I suppose any hammer, into your Benelli M4. I think I got really lucky when I got this. I only paid like 35 bucks for it. And I do not think that Geissele even makes these Benelli M4 hammers anymore. So if you're lucky enough to get one or see one, snatch it up immediately, because I don't believe that you can buy these anymore. I got this at Brownell's. It was on sale, 35 bucks. I think it was normally like 65 or something, so I think I might have got really lucky when I got this. This is a pretty easy job, but you do need a specialty kind of tool. You need a snap ring pliers, but you can't just use any snap ring pliers. It's got to be a pretty small snap ring pliers, because the snap ring that you need to be able to take off is tiny, that you'll see soon. I know you can go on the, there's websites I can't remember the name of now, where they sell all kinds of parts for Benelli M4, and you can get, one of their snap ring pliers, but it was a whole lot cheaper when I figured out I could just grab one at Ace. It's part number 2023976, because you do need a very tiny snap ring pliers. It has to be tiny, and you're about to see why here in a second. So without further ado, it's not too bad of a job, because all you got to do is take your trigger pack out here, your trigger group of your Benelli M4. So that's not too hard. Take something you might have laying around, and we're just gonna push that out. Take the pin, pull that out, and voila, it comes right out. Nice. Alright. Set that aside for the time being. So, this is the snap ring right here that you need to remove, and it is quite small. I actually had it off and put it back on for the purposes of the video. But let's go ahead here and see how big of a pain in the ass this is to get off, because it kind of is. So I already installed the right head that you want on your snap ring pliers, and what you need is your snap ring pliers to essentially be touching each other very close, right next to each other like this. If your snap ring pliers isn't small enough, it's really not going to work very well. For example, you'd think like this one would be, small enough, because look how tiny it is. But is that going to fit in here? Just barely not small enough. Here's another one. You'd think these would be small enough, and this is, I guess, 45 degree, but oh, I guess this one does fit. So this one does fit. And then the last one is right here, kind of stuck, and I don't think this one will fit either. Nope, not good enough. So, looks like maybe this one would fit. And I think this is 45 degree, but either a 45 degree or a 90 degree might actually be better. So, because this fits, it seems, so perfectly, but I won't swap it out. I'll just use the one I got in here. So this one barely fits. It's very snug. This one is not as snug. So I'm going to swap it out. This is kind of a nifty one, because all you have to do is push on that thing and this pin will come out. And that pops right off. And then you can put the different head on here. Shove that pin back through. Go like that, and there you go. Boom. Alright, so here we go. Hopefully the lighting's good on this. We're just going to want to shove that in here like so. And of course be very careful when you do this. You don't want to lose, you know, like this. That would be catastrophic to lose, of course, so be careful because these can pop out. So if you know, are doing any other disassembly. So make sure you don't let anything fly out. So let's just go ahead and see if we can even get this here. It's a little bit more difficult on camera. But boom, oh look at that, perfect. On the first try. So, good snap ring pliers. They're $16.99. I got them at Ace in the store. So perfect for that. Then we got our Benelli M4 hammer in the typical Geissele packaging that they put everything in. Benelli M4 hammer, obviously you want to make sure it's the right way. Now to make this easy on yourself, do not push the pin out all of the way. Of course only push it out only as far as you need to get the old one out. So let's go ahead and push that out here. Hopefully we can get lucky. This is also being held on, so you're going to want to kind of squeeze. See this? So squeeze this together. Do not I should probably have a flathead screwdriver or something would be about right. Pretty nice right now, but let's just use what we have on hand. So here I'm using a green tip, 556. Doesn't seem to be working quite as well as I would hope, but this is a little bit tough to get out, so I'm going to grab a pliers quick. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Let's just use a needle nose. So I'm going to keep these together and very carefully, without marring anything, since we're doing some metal on metal contact here. Be very careful to not damage anything here. So this is sort of the part that I was afraid of, that it wasn't exactly going to be the easiest thing to just pull right out, which it's not. So I'm going to try and be extra careful. Here we go. Coming out. Let's see, was that enough? Not quite. A little bit more. Still not enough. Is that enough? Nope. Still not enough. Getting closer, I can tell. Come on. Keep that nice and squeezed together. Ah, there we go. Boom. Came right out. Of course, remember your orientation. Sort of the hooky end is towards you, or back towards the back of the gun. Now let's just take our Geissele here. If you really wanted to be anal about it, maybe you could add a little like lube or something, but my gun's on the dirtier side, not necessarily the trigger pack. The trigger group here doesn't really get that dirty, but either way, you could lube this maybe if you wanted to with like the finest amount of grease ever, but I'm not even going to bother doing that. It's not really like that already, so I'm not going to waste my time. I don't actually know if that's recommended, so I don't want to give you bad advice. So hopefully we can get this pushed in here now. Hopefully get this all lined up. Perfect. However, and it just popped right back in. Thank you, Benelli, for that. However, nope, I didn't do it right. This got pushed up, so we're going to need to push that down so that this is capturing that. And then push it all the way through, like so. This seems pretty tight, honestly. We'll see. We'll get it in the gun and see how it works or not, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and get the snap ring back on here. The pain that is otherwise the hardest part of the job here. So hopefully the view isn't too horrible, but I'm going to kind of go like this, get it all ready to go, push from the other side. This all has to be come together. The pin is of course exactly the right size and not even a hair longer. So let's get it oriented, and now we'll separate it with the snap ring pliers here, if it will fit in again. And this is harder to do on camera than it will probably be for you to do. I'm trying to keep it in the frame so you can see what I'm doing. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and zoom a little bit here because it's a little bit too hard to do while standing. Alright. So snap ring pliers. It's really hard to get these in here. Sorry, my tripod likes to just droop the camera so it's facing straight down. Remember, if you remember what I said about the snap ring pliers and most of them being too big, it's now too difficult for me to even get it back in here. Let me reposition. See if I can do this now. Alright. Pray that the snap ring pliers will go back in. I'm just going to go ahead and switch out and do the skinnier ones, because even though it should be like the perfect size, it's not going as well as I would hope. So let's go ahead and shove this back on here, swap this out. There. Alright. See if we can give this another go. pushing from the other side. Alright, now that's better. Come on. Alright, it's on there. It's not totally flat yet. So it's not on there 100%. You can see there's a little tiny gap. We don't want that. We want it all the way on. So let's see if I open it up just a titch more. It'll get in there perfect. And it seems to be on. I'm going to go ahead and twist it so it's kind of where it was before, pointing this way. And I mean, you can try and push the pin out. It's not coming out at all. Not coming out, so that's good. It seems to be totally secure. Alright, now that should be it. Geissele hammer for Benelli M4 installed. But we can't be too sure until we go ahead and get it put in here. So let's zoom out and let's see, we want to make sure we push our button here so that moves out of the way. Get the trigger, make sure that your pin's pulled out. Go ahead and cock it, make it a little bit easier to put back in. Push that pin back in. So, alright, let's go ahead and cycle this. Make sure it works. Alright. Cycle's fine. And we're clear, of course, so let's go ahead and see if this thing goes. You might be able to kind of see the hammer. Boom, there it is. Oops, you can't see that. Hammer's right there. There it is. Seems to work. If it's made by Geissele, they do have their reputation that they do have, which is top of the line. They do make great triggers. Alright, and that's the completed installation for a Benelli M4 Geissele hammer. Snap ring pliers, it's got to be small, it's got to be real small. RMR is great on a Benelli M4, by the way. I'll have to maybe make a video about the Benelli overall in the future, or sort of a review. So if anybody would be interested in hearing more about the Benelli M4, let me know. But anyway, this concludes the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.